Good morning, everyone. This is week 5 of our guitar class, and I'm Patrick. Last week we had a short class that just worked on developing a bit further the thumb grab style of rhythm playing that I introduced you to. So this week we're going to take it a little further, add the alternating thumb to make it a little more interesting. So let's get started with that right now. Just to briefly review last week's lesson, you recall that we were working with a style in which we would pluck, in this case, the 4th string open with our thumb and then grab and pull out to sound the top 3 strings, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, simultaneously. So we got this while holding a D chord. Remember our D chord formation. Okay, so we put this to a 4 count, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we got this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we change chords, it becomes this 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we did a little song, Lulu, skip to my Lou, Lulu, skip to my Lou, Lulu, skip to my Lou, skip to my Lou, my darling. So, this week what we're going to do is try to make this a little more interesting by alternating our thumb. In other words, instead of just plucking that 4th string, in this case, what we want to do is alternate between 2 bass strings. In this case, since we're still holding a D chord, we're going to alternate between the 4th and 5th strings, which will give us a nice sound. Okay, so what does that mean, alternate? Well, it means instead of just playing that on the 1 and the 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to alternate it. On the 1, we're going to hit the 4th string open, 1, 2. On the 3, we're going to hit the 5th string open, 4, and then go back down and hit the 4th string open. So we'll be alternating every other count, plucking between 2 bass strings. So it'll, from just the thumb part of it, and the 4 count would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But of course, we don't want to just play it, just the bass note. We want to play the whole thing. So it'll sound like this. So here again, what am I doing? Okay, remember it's the 4 count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm alternating between the 4th and 5th strings with my thumb. These 3 fingers continue to grab the top 3 strings just like they did in our previous exercise. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lulu, skip to my Lulu, sorry, Lulu, skip to my Lulu, skip to my Lou, skip to my Lou, my darling. Musically, that's the equivalent of playing this. pick, of course, sounds more definitive and louder because it's plastic and your fingers are made of skin. But nevertheless, it's the same count and it's the same idea, alternating bass, and you can use this in lots of ways. It forms a steady foundation for for many folk songs that you might want to do, and get you used to getting that kind of walking sound that's so characteristic of guitar, and it gives it that nice sound. So you need to work on that, and you need to work on it with your chord changes. So just practice some of those simple songs I gave you. Practice some of those chord changes. You can do this in D. You can do it in A. You can do it in G. Do it in C. My C chord, so I'm holding that C chord, playing the same thing. Back to G. Okay, so you can play lots of songs that way, and it's a good way to start, not too complicated rhythmically. From that you can work up and use other forms, finger picking, playing with a flat pick, or whatever. Okay, the other thing we did last week was to discuss a new chord, the chord family of E. I'll briefly go over the 1, 4, and 5 chord in the chord family of E. We already know the 4 chord in a chord family of E because that chord is A, because the 1, 4, and 5 chords in E are E, A, and B7. So we know the A. I make it like a little pyramid like this. Some of you make it like this, with all 3 fingers stacked. I like to make it like a little pyramid, but in either case, it's the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings all fretted at the 2nd fret. Okay, now move over here. The other, the tonic or the root chord for the key of E is the E chord, and that's a nice bassy kind of chord, used a lot in blues and rock music, particularly. So it's very popular key to do songs in. How do you make the chord? Okay, we're going to make the chord with the middle finger on the 5th string at the 2nd fret, the ring finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then we're going to add the index finger on the 3rd string at the 1st fret. Okay, so you get that 3rd string, 4th string, 5th string, and that's an E chord, and it sounds like this. So we went from E to A. We have a nice sound. The 5 chord is, I think, personally, the most difficult of the first position chords. It's not a bar chord. It'll take you a while to get this one, so don't worry too much about it. If you encounter some difficulties, let me show it to you, and you can work on it, making sure that when you look in the chord diagrams that you're putting your fingers right. It is difficult because it's all up here on the bass strings and in the 1st and 2nd frets, but here it is. Okay, it is the middle finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, index finger on the 4th string at the 1st fret, then the ring finger comes in at the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and finally the pinky, this is all 4 fingers, is going to be on the 1st string at the 2nd fret. So you have 3 fingers at the 2nd fret, and then you have 1 finger up here at the 1st fret, and we don't play the bass string, and you get this sound. And and that's a B7. There it is again, B7. So we go E, A, B7, back to E. Okay? That's it for this week. See you later.